to my channel. I hope everyone is doing well. So if you are newly licensed, you passed your life and health exam, and you got your NPN number, your national producer number, maybe you even passed AHIP, and you're like, what do I do next? Well, this video is for you, so keep watching. So if you feel a little lost and you do not know what to do whatsoever after passing your life and health exam, don't feel any type of way, because you are definitely not alone. And some of you actually don't even trust the insurance industry, and I don't blame you. You do have to be careful out there, but this video is going to give you the tools to help you feel like you are ready to get out there in the world, okay? So the first thing you want to do is decide if you want to be a captive agent or an independent agent. And let me say this, there are pros and cons to each route, and I would not say that one route is better than the other. It really depends on your personality, your drive, your goals, and what you want to do with your career, okay? Whether you want it to just be, I just want to have a job, or I want to build a business, right? Everyone's lives is different, and we all have different goals and our own different definition of success. So it's okay if you decide to work for a company, and it's okay if you decide to become independent. Becoming independent does not guarantee you becoming rich, okay? I want you to understand that, okay? So first, like I said, decide if you want to be captive or if you want to be independent. So if you want to be captive, then this route is pretty simple in a sense. All you have to do is basically go on Indeed, see who's hiring. I would say during the interview process, you want to interview the employer as well. Make sure that, you know, this job search does match your goals, your intentions, and the things that you want to do as a captive broker. And you can be a captive broker and sell multiple different products and different insurance, okay? So you can offer different products to your clients, or you may just work for one particular insurance company, okay? So you have to decide how you want to do that. Do you want to work from home? Do you want to work in an office? Decide that and go ahead and apply for jobs that align with your personal goals. Maybe you want to be a stay-at-home mom, but you still want to work, right? And you want to get a job where you can work from home. But just know, when you're working from home, you're still monitored, okay? You still monitor, you still have to be on the clock for however many hours. You have to answer so many calls, etc., etc. Okay, so if you decide, okay, this is what I want to do, I want to be captive, I just want to get a job, I want a 9 to 5, and I'm happy with that, then you don't have to watch this video any further. Okay, so I'm going to continue on for those that want to be an independent broker. And what is an independent broker? So an independent broker is where you are working for yourself, your own brand, your own company, and you have certain goals that you want to put out for yourself. So the first thing you want to do to become an independent agent is you want to look for an FMO or an upline, okay? So you can go directly under the FMO, but I don't recommend that you do that as a newbie agent, okay? If you go directly under an FMO, you may or may not get the training that you need, or they may assign you to a manager. And that manager is going to be your upline. So I recommend that you shop around for an upline and then go under your upline's FMO. Why do I say that? It's because when you shop around for an upline instead of an FMO, then the upline is who's going to be your direct contact, okay? This is the person that's going to train you. This is the person that's going to help you understand Medicare regulations and all of that. Of course, you still have to pass AHIP, and AHIP is going to tell you the rules and regulations and compliance of Medicare and all of that, but you still want that point of contact. You still want that person that you want to reach out to if you have questions, concerns, training, etc., etc. And the list goes on when it comes with an upline. And the reason why I say pick your upline first versus just going directly under an FMO is because, like I said, you don't know how you're going to be matched. You got to get training from someone or something. It's going to be either someone or you're going to be getting training from the computer. Or it may be a mixture of the two, okay? So an upline, I personally feel like is the best route to go. And how can you find an upline? Because people ask me this all of the time. How do I find an upline? So you can start out with Googling a few FMOs in your area. And when you interview this FMO, don't let them interview you. You have to interview them as well, okay? So when you interview them and you ask them the right questions, and I already have a video on the questions to ask, and I will leave that in the description of this video, okay? You want to ask them, well, who would be my upline? And they should be able to say, you're going to have a manager, or this is going to be an upline. They may say, well, you don't have an upline, then that is a problem because you need to know who that person is, because that person is going to be your direct contact. And if they say, oh, your upline is going to be such and such, then you also want to interview and talk to that particular person, because you want to make sure that your goals match their goals that they have for you as well. You want to make sure that this relationship is going to work and it's going to be a give and take relationship. Now, one thing I'm going to say about downlines, because you are considered a downline when you have an upline, right? So when you are a downline, you have to understand there is a give and take. If you are not producing, then you can't expect the upline to give you all of this support because you're not producing. So it is a give and take relationship, okay? So please, please, please keep that in mind, okay? So like I said, the first thing you want to do is find you an FMO and an upline, okay? And of course, Google is not the only way to find an FMO. You can also look for uplines or FMOs through Facebook groups as well. And I'm gonna be honest with you, some of these Facebook groups can be a little toxic. So you definitely want to find you a Facebook group that is encouraging, uplifting, inspiring, that gives a lot of education, that gives you a lot of value, right? And no drama and no toxic admins and moderators and all of that jazz. Don't want that, because it does not help anyone at all. So yeah, Facebook groups and a nice Google search to find your FMO or upline. So that's the first thing you want to do. Find you a partner that's going to help you become a successful agent. So what are you looking for in an FMO? Upline, well, you want to look for support, education, training, of course, making sure that you stay compliant. What are the lead programs, and etc., etc. Like I said, watch that video on the 5 questions to ask your FMO or upline, okay? All right, so the next thing that you definitely want to focus on, and you might want to do this before you find yourself an FMO or an upline, and that is you need to understand your target audience. Who do you want to target? And I have a list right here. I don't want to forget any different type of target audiences, so I have them written down. So DSNP. So what is DSNP? DSNP is low income for individuals that have both Medicare and Medicaid. Do you want to target low income individuals? You may or you may not, okay? So DSNP audience, turning 65. Turning 65 is exactly as I read it, targeting individuals turning 65. So that group, you're going to help them enroll in Medicare Part A and B, helping them create a My Social Security account, helping them understand Medicare, doing seminars, basically focusing on individuals just not getting ready for Medicare 3 to 6 months before they turn 65, okay? So that is a great target audience. You can target these individuals all year round, okay? Okay, so we said DSNP, turning 65. What about Medicare supplements? Do you want to focus more on Medicare supplement individuals? So you really need to understand how Medicare supplement works, educate yourself and all of that. So that's another target audience. And of course, the other one is Medicare Advantage, okay? And Medicare supplement versus Medicare Advantage really depend on your area. Your area may be very high on Medicare supplements, or maybe very high on Medicare Advantage, or it may be a mixture of the both. So it's very important to know what is your target audience. And I highly recommend that you offer both Medicare Advantage and Medicare supplement, but you can still have a target audience to say, this is what I want to sell the most of, okay? So that's that. Another thing that you definitely want to dive into is, how do you want to sell? How do you want to present your business, okay? Do you want to sell face-to-face? Do you want to sell face-to-face in someone's home? Do you want to sell face-to-face in an office? Do you want to sell over the phone? Do you want to sell virtually? Do you want to sell via Zoom? Do you want to present yourself on social media? How do you want to present yourself? Do you want to do seminars? Do you want to present in restaurants and libraries? Like, how do you want to present and how do you want to sell? All of these things is things that you want to know, so that way you kind of have a goal in mind and you pick an upline and an FMO that meet those requirements that you want to set up for yourself. Because if you're working with an upline that only does community marketing, that only, market in the community, and you don't want to do that, then that's not going to work. So you have to make sure your goals match the FMO goals, okay? They have to match. If it does not match, you're not going to be happy. They're not going to be happy either, okay? So that's very important. And the last thing that you definitely want to have in order is, what are your resources, okay? We talk about all of these other things, but how are you going to get to that target audience? What are the resources that you're going to use? What CRM are you going to use, right? What lead source are you going to use? Are you going to purchase leads? Are you going to do leads on Facebook? Are you going to go into doctor offices, flea markets? Like, what are you going to do? What are all the resources, everything that is required to get the job done, okay? Down from your pen to your computer to your CRM. What do you need? How you want to present yourself in the world? Do you want to wear a polo shirt? Do you want to dress up? Do you want to have an ID badge? All of these things are very important, so that way you kind of have an idea of going in how you want to present, as a business owner. So for an example, say you want to target the DSNP market. So you want to partner with the food bank, right? You may want to buy leads for low-income individuals, right? You may want to buy Medicare/Medicaid leads, because these people are going to be on both Medicare and Medicaid. They're low-income individuals, right? So you may want to go to, like I said, food banks, the flea market, low-income doctor offices. You want to market where they are. You want to market where your audience is, okay? So a decent individual is not going to be at a high-rise doctor office, okay? That's not going to be where your audience is. So you have to know where your audience is. So turning 65. So do you want to mail to individuals turning 65 3 months before they turn 65? Do you want to do seminars for individuals turning 65, provide a lunch? So you have to know the market, so that way you know how to reach that market audience. How do you meet them halfway, in a sense, okay? So basically, I'm going to apply all of this to myself, and it's going to make a lot more sense. Okay, so the first thing I said is, decide if you want to work for a company or be independent, captive or independent. I decided from day one I wanted to be independent, so I'm independent. The second thing, look for an FMO or upline. I went and seek out an upline first, and I am under him and his FMO, okay? You want to have a clear idea of your market audience. So for me, I like to work with low income. I like to work with 3065 and Medicare and supplements. So I kind of do a little bit of everything, okay, when it comes to my market audience. And the fourth thing, how do you sell? Okay, so I have an office. So I sell by phone and I sell face-to-face in my office. So that's how I sell. I prefer face-to-face, okay? And the last thing is, what is my resource, okay? So from the beginning, I basically purchased all the things that I needed, such as my computer, my CRM. I have an iPad as well. Like I said, I have an office, and I have a video on the cost of starting your own business, and I list all the things that I purchased when I first started. So I will leave that video in the description of this video as well. But we're going to focus more on resources when it comes to like leads. So what are some of the resources that I use to target my audience? Like I said, I do work with the D-SNP community. So I learned how to do Medicaid applications for individuals that are low income. Okay, that's number one. I also do 3065. So I do mail out to individuals 3 to 6 months before they turn 65. So I do a lot of that, and I work a lot in my community as well, okay? So that's pretty much what I do, and I like to work with other businesses as well. I like to sell over the phone. I like to market on Facebook. I do Facebook advertising. And yeah, I pretty much do a lot. So anyways, I hope this video helped you guys a lot have a better understanding on how to start your own business, whether you want to be captive or you want to be completely independent. So anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. And please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Why not? It's fun.